take, all these things. But if you're looking for something that may make you feel great or at least take the edge off in the meantime, if it is tied to like, an afternoon lull or first thing in the morning, a lot of times doing things like ashwagandha or holy basil, rhodiola, ginseng, all those things are on the list of adaptogens that can be very, very helpful to regulate the adrenals and take the edge off of these headaches. Um, as long as it's rooted in adrenal dysfunction, it's a fair bet that might be helpful.
Yeah, for sure. Dr. Tim, when you're not able to muscle test someone, and obviously whenever we're not able to, and we kind of give general recommendations on things, we kind of have to give a couple, one or two things that we think kind of maybe at the top of the list, most likely to be needed. When it comes to adaptogenic herbs, is there one or two that you kind of generally find people need more, and you generally recommend those, or what are you generally doing with someone that you can't necessarily muscle test?
I think a good middle of the road one is ashwagandha.
Yeah,
That tends to be the most popular one out nowadays. So I would urge you, if you're going to do that one, find a good source. We have recommendations for all those. A lot of the stuff that you'll find online is not great, and that one specifically has gotten really popular. Meaning, there's a lot of people that are trying to make money off of it, which means they're
for
trying to cut
sure.
costs and they're trying to, sell as much as they can. So it might not be the best quality product. So be
Yep.
careful with where you get that one.
Yeah.
Um, I would argue that by the time people get into my office or your office, they oftentimes require a bit more of a potent fix,
Yeah.
just because they've been far enough down that road where they're having dysfunction to a pretty decent degree. When that's the case, rhodiola is a really, really good one. Rhodiola, I like to call it adrenal crack, because when people get on that one, a lot of times they feel really, really good and they don't want to stop. Um, and that's because it does pretty dang well. If you've got energy issues and headaches and things like that are due to dysfunction, it does a really good job of regulating the adrenals. So
Yeah.
that one's really, really, really good.
Yeah, I would say those two are probably the top two I'm generally recommending. I'm usually not a big fan of mixtures of a lot of different herbs, but there's an herb from Apex. There's an herbal blend called Adaptogen that has a lot of different adaptogenic herbs. Sometimes that can be extremely helpful for people if we're just not super sure which one is needed. But generally, ashwagandha and rhodiola, yeah, definitely those are the top two that I would go with as well. All right, Dr. Tim, we've got a couple other things here.